Hi guys. We're coming up on the 4th of July, which if you live in the United States, big holiday, lots of stuff, and I just realized I could film the look that I'm probably going to end up wearing on that day. We have it off from work, so I'm going to be running around eating fair food and watching explosions in the sky. And I want to do kind of a 3-color gradient with the Afterdark palette from Urban Decay. I thought I'd sit down and film it today so we can get it up, and if anybody else wants to do it, tutorial. And also, my hair is still wet from the shower, so I won't be putting it like back like I normally do. We'll just be dealing with it. If anybody else has super, like, this is straight out of the shower, this is how straight my hair is. If you put it back when it's wet, it'll get this weird crink in it, which might not show up if there's any texture in your hair, but if your hair is just the straightest shit ever, it will look really weird. So we are just going to be dealing with it today. I'm sorry if that frustrates anybody, because it's going to be annoying for me too. I'm also going to see if I can do all of my makeup in the mirror in here. Normally I pull in something else, but let's get started before I get too distracty. It's probably not going to be super interesting until we actually get to the eyeshadow, because I don't know about you guys, but when I watch tutorials, I just do my normal base anyway, and then I pick up whatever part of the tutorial I was interested in. So if you have a foundation routine you like, or whatever, you can do that. This is the one that's working for me right now. I'm putting Lorac Behind the Scenes Eyeshadow Primer under my eyes, which, depending on how oily your eye area gets, or how dry it is, that might not be relevant for you. My eyes get kind of oily. My entire face gets kind of oily, so it helps if I set some kind of primer down there to help the eyeshadow not fade away. I'm then going to go in with my NYX First Base Primer Spray. Trying to make sure I got it past all my hair. And then we are working on a new foundation. I have this NYX Total Control Dropper Foundation in 5 Light. I think it's got a little 5 on it, which you probably can't see because not correct autofocus on my phone. And I have been using that with this Expert Face Brush from Real Techniques. I've been really liking it. And because this one is a lot more matte than the foundation I was using before, I have not had to powder under it. Like, I still get shiny later in the day, but this has been really keeping my oil down. I'm guessing that other foundation just wasn't as... well, it was decently matte when it went on, but it didn't keep me matte throughout the day. Oh, I didn't bring lips. We'll figure it out. So I just drop it straight on the brush. I think I use 6. I kind of use 6 drops in the first section to let it soak into the brush a little bit, and kind of 4 in the other sections. It just blends out really quickly and nicely, and it's really lightweight. I know I did a first impressions on at some point, but I don't know if it ever got up. If I can find it, I'll put it up, but it might be lost in the things we filmed and maybe edited, and I don't know where they went. So then I do 4 more drops. We'll do 5. We'll do 5 just in case. I need a little extra coverage because it's hot. No. I wear foundation out in the heat and just deal with the sweating and the fading because my foundation is already made or coordinated to deal with my oiliness. But honestly, probably just wear sunscreen or nothing at all. Definitely wear sunscreen if you're going to be out and about. But if you have a sunscreen with like a little bit of coverage, that's probably going to be more than enough. And yes, I'm using the screen to see where my foundation is, because then I can use my hands and I can clear it up with the so it blends out really nicely. It's basically dried down fully by now. You don't have to really wait on it to set, and it's so light. Like, there's no texture, there's no feeling like if I touched it there was going to be sinking into a layer and then my skin. It just feels like nothing's on my face right now, which I like. And then we are going to set under my eyes. I don't know if this is going to be a problem, because we're going to be putting the shadows over a cream base, but I'm just going to use this Laura Mercier, oh no, this is a jar from Laura Mercier that I filled with RCMA no color powder. There's going to be too many similar bits of that, so I'm just going to pick it up with a little fluffy brush and set under my eyes in case of fallout. And I'll just leave that open because I'll need it in a second anyway. So this should theoretically be a really quick tutorial. There's not a ton of blending involved in this. It's kind of just laying down the base and packing the colors on top. So I'm going back in with the eyeshadow primer on my upper lid now for underneath the eyeshadow. And again, if eyeshadow doesn't really fade on you, you probably don't need this underneath the cream shadow I'm gonna put down, but it helps. I haven't tried the cream shadow without the eyeshadow primer, but it makes me nervous, so I don't do it. I would rather do an unnecessary step like this than make a really pretty look and have it break down halfway throughout the day because the cream base doesn't actually work as a base. It's just, you know, cream shadow that doesn't actually prime your lid for whatever you put over it. Okay, finally getting into the other stuff. I like this Lottie London brush whenever I'm working with cream shadows. It's a really good shape for just getting stuff on my lid. So we're going in with this Maybelline Color Tattoo in Creamy Beige. It's limited edition, but it's the one I want to use today. So if you have just a medium brown cream shade, or if you just want to lay down like a medium brown in your crease and then put the colors we're going to put on your lid over your regular primer, you can do that. I just want to do this today. So I'm just picking it up on the brush like that, and we're going to just pack it on our lid, taking it a little above the crease because we're going to be blending it out in like 5 seconds. Which honestly, that's not bad. But I am extra, so I'm going to take this NYX blending brush, swirl it around in the pot, and run this over the edge to kind of feather it out. Yeah. Oh no, knocking stuff over. And we'll just do that on the other side. So that, I really wish this was a permanent shade because this look is so quick and I love it. But technically it's one of those things that YouTube etiquette says you're not supposed to put. Everybody always talks about not putting up limited edition stuff because not everybody can get it, so as soon as it's out of stock or the run's over, people are like, oh, I just gotta throw away all my limited edition stuff. I was like, no, I want to use that. I paid for it. I'm going to be that horrible person that puts up stuff, but anybody who bought that might want to see it being used or continue to see tutorials. Maybe they didn't find your stuff the first time and they want to see you doing the new thing that you're doing with it now that you've had it longer. So I always get sad when you watch declutters and you're like, oh, I have to throw this out because it's limited edition. I'm like, just keep it and use it. It's great, so do that. I don't know why this is not part of their permanent line. Oh, I will put a link to the tag video I did where I talked about how mad I am that this is not part of their permanent line. And, oh no, I've lost a brush. I want this brush. This is the G18 from Morphe. And I'm just going to, again, run that in the pot. And we're going to smudge this on my lower lash line. And if you just wanted some good, easy makeup to wear out to, like, the parade or whatever, you could probably stop with your eye looking like this and just have a fun, pretty, sturdy day. Because these color tattoos really don't move. Which is saying something on skin as oily as mine. Okay, so base part down. Now, we're going to start doing some stuff. So I'm going to take this brush that comes in the Afterdark palette. That's the other thing I want to do, is I want to use the palette stuff. And I'm going to take Supersonic, which is this burgundy red with like an orange shift. And I'm going to start packing that on. Not fully in, just kind of like the middle. I'm going to leave some space for where we're going to put the highlight, but I really just want this in the center of my lid because we're doing red, white, and blue. I was just going to try and say them in the order I put them on eyes, but that was going to bother me because you always hear red, white, and blue, and that's the order, and it's weird when you say things in the other order when you're so used to hearing it in one specific order. Just like it's kind of weird to start in the middle of my eye, but that's what I'm feeling like doing. So I'm going to take it up a little higher than I might normally. Okay, so there we are. And then I want to take the small end and run Alter on my inner third tear duct area. This is going to count as our white. And I'm blending it over into Supersonic. I'm going to take a little bit of Supersonic and continue that blend. Just kind of run it back and forth until you get the transition you would like. Which is also going to end up a little bit kind of rainbow, which I'm good with. I really didn't coordinate enough to put up a Pride tutorial. And now there's so many I don't feel like I really should. Because everybody's already got one out. And I would just be doing a rainbow gradient eye like everybody else. So, do it on the other side. And then go back in with Supersonic. Kind of run them back and forth. And that is the inner end section out. I also, before I forget, that's not what I wanted. That'll do. I'm going to use the slanty end of this NYX brow brush and take Supersonic on that section on the bottom as well. I'm trying to keep it pretty focused up on the lashes because I don't want to just completely get rid of the fade of the brown underneath. Yeah. I'm going to do that on the other side. Sorry if I'm at a weird angle that you guys can't see. My hair is definitely going to get in the way a lot on this side. Alright, so I've got white gold into red, and then I'm going to take this Morphe G20 brush and pick up Paralyzed for the outer third. It's not really reading on camera. I can see it in person, I promise. We'll just keep building until you guys can see it. A little bit. Still not quite. Okay, yeah. You're starting to be able to see it. And I'm going to take the fluffy NYX brush right over the top and just kind of clean up that section, and then very carefully make sure it's strong at the lash line. Then we're going to do that on the other side, which will be a lot more complicated. I don't know what it is about this side, but I'm really bad at getting stuff on my like outer corner and having it look the same on both sides, you know. Part of that is that my eyes are two different shapes, and the crease of my hooded lid is different on both sides. That's not bad though. It's going to be kind of a sneaky blue that you won't really see until they kind of angle their head over, but I like it. It's the kind of thing you could wear out and people wouldn't aggressively notice that you're doing the red, white, and blue look. It'll just be something that they're like, oh, she happens to be doing that. Okay, and then blend the two a little bit. I'm really liking this. Okay, and then I want to get a different brow brush. This one's from the Brow Gal by Tonya Crooks. So again, a very, very tiny, sharp thing that you can put colors on your lower lash line precisely with. So, picking it up, and let's just connect that outer section. Oh, I really like this. I was hoping it would turn out awesome, but there was also the option that it would just get real weird. Okay, I'm gonna run the blendy brush over the side real quick, because I kind of forgot about that. Okay. I'm sorry the colors are not more vibrant because my lighting is bad, but oh, I'm liking this. I'm really getting into this. I was potentially going to do something brighter for actual 4th of July, but I might just have to redo this. This is really cute. I am sorry that the blue is not showing up more. It's decently strong in person. My boyfriend is super patriotic, you know, military, but he's gonna be so excited. I want to say we just barbecued last year, but he was so cute because I got him a flag for Veterans Day or Memorial Day, and he just like wore it around yelling USA. He was so cute. Okay, so I think the eyes are kind of done, so I'm gonna try and, like, it is blue, I promise. It's just not super apparent right away. I am going to take this ColourPop liner in Prance and try and run that in my waterline to bring out some of the blue, but this, it's getting kind of old, so it's giving me attitude. We'll find out if it's gonna let me do the thing. A little bit. I really like these ColourPop liners, but they do tend to kind of die down if you don't use them quickly. Which is fair because they're a twist up, so they're not like kept safe in any kind of wood like a sharpenable liner is. They just end up drying out pretty quickly. But they're cheap, so I'll forgive it. Yeah, it didn't do a ton, but it's fine. We will deal with it. Okay, now we're going to start getting into the slightly more weird parts of it. I don't know if I want to do it, but I'm tempted to draw little star freckles in this blue, but it might not work. So, we'll do it at the end of the face. We'll wait till the end of the face to try that out. In the meantime, get a big fluffy brush and set our face because I get oily. And being outside, doing all the holiday things, is going to make me even more oily. Oh no, oh that's a lot of powder. It won't come off the brush. So, I just powder my skin to death and hope for the best. Which is again why I'm just, you might just want to do bare face with just eyeshadow for this if you're wearing it out. I might do that. Or sunscreen. Okay, so that's done. And I'm going to continue to use my basics, my Sonia Kashuk Flamingo blush. It's really light and pink, it goes with a lot of stuff, and it kind of gets the whole cute American look. The little, like the girl with the rosy cheeks and the natural beauty, which you will see a lot of on holiday weekends. So I just run that on my cheekbones with this Luxie 514 brush, and it adds some pink. Stops me from being super corpsey, just like medium corpsey. And the other side, which is going to be harder because this is where the part of my hair that ends up down is going to go, so we're just going to do the motions I knew I do with my blush and hope for the best. Yeah, that's not bad. Did end up a little, oh that's cute. Yeah, see, this is why I like this blush so much. That's why it's so dead, and I'm panning it, but then let's go in with brows. Did I bring brows over? I didn't. Actually, we can just use that cream stuff, which is probably going to work with the brush as well. I'm just going to go back into this color tattoo, which is a medium brown, with this Anastasia number 12 brush and fill my brows in. I've done it before. They're a lot more natural than I end up generally doing my brows, but they don't look bad. And since this stuff is aggressively waterproof and wearproof and just sticks in place, your brows end up pretty solid. Which again, why is this not a permanent part of your line? It does take a bit longer than using like a pomade, but even then it doesn't take like forever. It's just because it doesn't pick up as, since it's a cream shadow instead of a pomade, it's not as creamy, so you don't pick up as much product per pass with your brush, hence why the brows are a bit more natural looking, a bit less super crisp, aggressive, filled in dark, which is kind of my thing, because I like my brows very dark. But again, I would be perfectly happy filling them in with this type of a product if it wasn't going to burn through it as quickly as it probably would. Because I really love this, and I'm so sassy that it's not permanent. Somebody start a campaign with Maybelline to bring back this color. Sorry, you can't see that. Because these brows will stay in place aggressively. They really just need to do this. Yeah, so, like, these are really cute brows, and okay. I'm not sure I'm feeling the stars. I think we're going to leave that out. We are going to highlight, and I didn't bring mascara over here. I brought some, but not what I was going to use. So I'm going to use this NYX Duochromatic Illuminating Powder in Twilight Tint. It's this white with blue reflect gorgeousness, and I thought that would look really cute and bring out some of the blue. Since we already have the white gold in there, we can have the white blue on our highlight. So can you see it? Is it there? Am I going to end up with it much too strong, like I do when I do my makeup in this lighting? Probably. Let's do it on the other side. So these NYX ones are actually really, really gorgeous. If you were really wanting to try out duochromatic highlighters or powders of any kind, but you weren't sure you wanted to commit to like the Moonchild or Aurora or any of those, it's a really nice highlight. It's cheap. They have a bunch of color options. This is just the one I got, and I want to buy all of them, but then I will have 3 palettes of duochrome highlights and a bunch of singles of what are basically the same colors. Like, this is definitely practically a dupe for all the blue-white reflect type things. So if you're curious, try these out first. You'll find out if it's something you wear on a daily basis or if it's something that you just want to pull out, and you'll feel better that you only spent, what, like $6 or something on this instead of $40 on a full palette of stuff that will not get used as often. I do think I want to put more on my inner corner. We're going to put more on my inner corner. I'm going to take this fluffy brush into Alter and do more in my inner corner. Yeah, that's better. I like this. Okay. So, eyes done, cheeks, brows. I'll probably just do lip balm. If I'm going to be out for any amount of time during the day, I just put a tinted balm on. So you can do that. Now we get to do my mascara. So, curl the lashes. And I'm going to be a little sassy because I forgot to put, I don't know. I forgot to put mascara in my bra to use some warm like I generally like it. So we're going to see how well this works cold. This is the Benefit They're Real Tinted Lash Primer, which is almost always the base of all of my looks, lash-wise. And just run it through your lashes. I'm sure the other primers out there are pretty nice. I've used a couple of them, but most mascara primers are white, and that annoys me because then you have to be really careful to cover up every single aspect of every lash with the mascara, which, if you're just doing short lashes that are prone to clumping like mine, you get clumpy lashes, and I would prefer not to have to worry about covering up my primer. And since this one is a dark brown, it's not as noticeable if you miss a lash or anything. I almost poked myself in the eye there. I'm sorry, I make probably the weirdest faces while I'm putting on mascara because I'm focusing so hard. And then, yeah, let's just match it. We'll use a little sample of the They're Real mascara, which I have. You can see the They're part. I've worn off the rest, just using it. This is the They're Real mascara from Benefit. It has this spiky wand that I really like. And just that's the other thing, is if you're having a lot of issues with your mascara clumping, try out the spikier silicone wands as opposed to like the fluffy natural bristle ones, because these ones will comb through your lashes while you're putting it on and help prevent clumps. Things you learn from having clumpy lashes. And yes, I get super close to the mirror when I'm doing this because otherwise I'll end up rubbing it all the way up my face. Nope. Okay. So, this is the finished look. Let me know down below if you guys are doing colorful makeup, if you're going out, if you're even in the United States, if you're celebrating, if you're going to try this look. I am really happy with this. I'm happy with this. And I didn't mess up my hair, which is starting to be dry. It's mostly dry. Just like a little wet in the back. Thanks for watching.